Hi, welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you. This is super cool. I'm really excited to present this presentation today. This is from Building Change Now. We're talking about mind rewire and tools for subconscious change. So if you're ready to rewire your mind, you're in the right place. I'm a comprehensive energy psychology coach and a PSYCH-K facilitator. So get ready to free your mind. This is going to be a ton of fun. So it's time for a breakthrough. I fully well believe that for most people, like you're ready for change, you're ready to do this differently. So that's what this is all about. Attention, frustrated people everywhere who are looking to find another way to think and be that will aid you on your life's journey. A way that's effective and easy, that will give you the relief and understanding that you deserve right now. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Have you ever said that to yourself? Do you know what I'm talking about with that? Does this sound like you? Do you consistently battle with arguments in your head? How many of you do that? Are you listening to negative thoughts, then following through with negative actions, and then consequently getting negative results? Does that sound like your life? Does that sound like you? Are you caught in patterns that you recognize and you're just tired of repeating? Do you have thoughts that replay over and over in your mind and you just can't make them stop? Do you have a plan for something better but can never seem to get it done? You're about to discover what I learned that not only changed my life, it saved my life. You're about to discover why you constantly search for answers only to find roadblocks. As a child, you don't know the difference. Everything is a learning experience. No matter what you are learning, everything gives you information. Information that later will act as instruction for you to live by. If what you learned or heard has led you to believe things about who you are, things like you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not strong enough, or give you a belief that you can never have money, love, peace, joy, health? What is your belief? Can you name it? Do you know what it is you believe? And it could be about many different areas. There might be more than just one thing. So in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you how the issues of life could be because of something that you don't even know affects you on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to show you how to move beyond the blocks and free yourself, and how to stop fighting every day and start recognizing and eliminating the self-limiting beliefs that hold you back. So who am I? My name is Christy Mattoon. I'm a health coach and a life coach, a comprehensive energy psychology therapist. I'm a PSYCH-K facilitator. I'm a certified personal trainer. I'm a neurokinetic therapist, and I have many other certifications under my belt also. So I've got a pretty broad tool belt, but my specialty is helping people find another way to think, another way to find health, and a different way to live. I've coached people all over the world, including North America, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Japan, South Africa, and also at this point from Britain and the UK. I'm a coach and a teacher. I work with people on how to take control of their lives, how to take authority over themselves by eliminating the self-sabotaging belief systems that are locked in their subconscious minds. I have helped numerous people find and enjoy health through exercise, nutrition, understanding energy, and using subconscious change techniques. For those of you who are looking to find release and real change, at the end of this presentation, there'll be a special offer just for you for a free breakthrough phone call that I'll help you get clear on how to end the negative cycles that you're stuck in. I want you to know I live by faith, and don't misunderstand me. I didn't say religion. Faith requires work, and work means action. So it may take some time, but it definitely will take faith, and it definitely takes a little bit of work. So the issues that we all struggle with are based on what you believe. Did you know that? If you can change the belief, you can solve the issue and create change to move forward. If your system of beliefs come from your past experiences, and that can be a little bit confusing, so we'll explain that more here in a little bit. Especially, it'll be confusing, especially if you don't realize that that's what's going on or why. Your past experience is stored in your subconscious mind, below the level of consciousness, and it creates your beliefs and gives you cause to act the way you do. Sometimes when you're caught in a home of negative self-talk, it comes from those past experiences. So we're going to jump right on into this. Your thoughts and beliefs and memories are the basis for your actions and reactions to each situation in your life. And those thoughts, beliefs, and memories come from your subconscious mind. They come from what you learned as a child, what you were taught, what you saw, and the environment that you were surrounded in. How this works: as you think, a thought forms on your brain. Literally, it forms into matter, positive or negative. At a cell level, at gene expression, it's a protein binding to a neuron. On a brain scan, they say it looks like tree branches. Every time you repeat the thought, you add to the branch. So every time you repeat that same thought, you get another protein neuron bond. And what you're doing is creating matter, literally on your brain, whether it's positive information or negative information. So this is called neuroplasticity. This is how you create your neural pathways. Neural meaning the brain, has to do with brain function, and plasticity could be considered malleable or something that's moldable, like plastic, right? A soft plastic. We used to thought it was very rigid and hard and structured, and once it was formed, you couldn't change it, but we now know that's incorrect. The neuroplasticity is sometimes described as a loop that you get caught up in your head. We're going to take another look at that, or we're going to take a look at that in a second. But this neuroplasticity is very malleable and moldable, and we know all it takes to change it is another thought or a different choice. So let's look at it in terms of these loops that we hear about. So the negative loop of thought that people get caught in can look like this dark circle that I've drawn here. It's kind of spiraling inward, it's collapsing. If you stare down into it, it's kind of dark and deep. It doesn't feel very good. And it digs itself deeper and deeper every time it plays in your mind, and it holds you captive. Do you have those thoughts that you get stuck in when you start thinking about whatever the thing is, and all of a sudden you find yourself just like spiraling out of control, and the thought gets deeper and darker? You probably add to the storyline a little bit, or you'll alter it a little bit inside your own mind, either to like solve the situation. Sometimes it makes the situation worse, even though it's just stuck inside your own head, and you just let it spiral and go and go. Well, it's the same thing that happens with a positive thought. It's exactly the same thing. Positive thoughts, as opposed to the negative ones, are outward and expressive. So if you take a look at that circle and you kind of follow it up and out, it gets bigger and bigger as it comes open. It grows and it gets larger as it comes out, and it's just more expressive. It feels better. And it's exactly the same thing. It digs itself deeper and deeper every time it plays in your mind, and those positive thoughts could hold you captive too. But for most people, they don't. Most people get stuck in those negative loops instead of the positive ones. Why is that? Is that you? Do you know what I'm talking about? Well, here's the cool part. You can change your neuroplasticity. If your negative thoughts are destructive and driving any of your issues or even disease, you can change that out. You can change it and see what symptoms change, see what issues change, see how your environment around you changes. What a cool thing that would be to know how to do that in the moment when something's going on, instead of letting it attach and create matter in your brain that you can't shake off. So you can't speak glory and hate at the same time. You can't be in this place of wonderful goodness, all the positivity stuff, and then the anger and the degrading thoughts at the same time. It's either one or the other. So the goal is to eliminate the negative stuff and insert some positive things that can turn into your go-to and become a stable place and a driving force instead of the negative limiting things. So we're not getting any younger. And this is what I found, that with energy psychology protocols, it is very quick, easy, and effective to change the destructive limiting beliefs that are holding you back and making you feel stuck. And it's very easy, quick, and effective way to also seed your mind with the positive things that you want in your life. So this isn't a protocol or a procedure, it's a strategy that gives you a practice and a way to not only clear out past beliefs and issues, but to seed your mind to benefit your life moving forward. And actually, I have that little picture of Bruce Lipton's book there just because it's a really cool book. And if you haven't read it, I highly suggest you do. Very, very good book. So I personally transformed into someone that I wasn't expecting. I didn't even know she was in here. Because what I found out was that all the things I was battling, there were more than just physical issues going on. It wasn't about the illness. It wasn't about the weight. It wasn't about the messed up body parts I had at that point. There was way more going on. That's why I created Mind Rewire. Mind Rewire concentrates on getting you results by resolving your self-limiting beliefs through subconscious change. I took all the best pieces of everything I've learned over the last 10 years and I pushed it down into this 8-week course where you get the most effective, beneficial parts of everything that I can do and learn it yourself so that you can repeat it and do it over and over whenever it comes necessary in your life. So let's talk about what this is for a second. Mind Rewire utilizes a whole brain approach that allows a person to change the perception of any given thought, belief, or memory of any situation in the moment while it's happening or if it's a past issue. Okay, so instead of being on the right side of your brain to an issue or more on the left side of your brain to an issue, we're accessing a whole brain place so that it allows you to change that perception easily and quickly. Mind Rewire is an effective way to quickly and easily change out dated subconscious perceptions and beliefs that may be sabotaging your life goals. If you don't realize what's going on in that subconscious mind, and it's something that keeps coming back to bite you and just putting nails in your coffin, as it were, instead of letting you get on with life, how cool would it be if you could actually pull those things out and seed your mind with stuff that would actually get you onto your goals? And you decide, it becomes a choice at that point. What do you want in your life? You get to choose. You take authority. By targeting a limiting belief, we can move these things out of your mind. We can change the belief on a subconscious level, and you feel immediate results. And here's the cool thing, they're not just immediate, they're lasting because you're actually taking apart the neuroplasticity. And then I give you tools to seed in this new belief that you want and to seed it in so that you're building out the new neuroplasticity. It's not a one and done deal where we go in and we just kind of like using a mantra where you read the statement on your mantra card. It's something that you look at, we seed it into your subconscious mind, and then you act on it. You move on it. That's where faith becomes works, and you start doing the work to make the thing seal in by building out the neuroplasticity around it. Let's talk for a few minutes about what is a limiting belief. A limiting belief is a belief that constrains us in some way, just by believing them. Your beliefs themselves come from your past experiences, from your past, your memories, your thoughts, and the things that you were taught, told, saw, or heard. And you take them on as their truth. And now they act as function in your life. So it's truth that you think about yourself as a person or about the world around you, when in fact it was just something that happened. It's not really true about who you are at all. We don't necessarily think, do, or say the things that limiting beliefs inhibit in our lives. But we experience the pain, we get the consequences and the issues because of them. And you may not even know where the problem comes from, you just know there's problems. Having limiting beliefs impoverishes your life and it keeps you from stepping forward. They can cause long-term illness, so physical illness can happen, relationship losses, financial issues, and instability in other areas of your life. You may have beliefs about something such as rights, duties, abilities, permissions, and so on. And if you take that on personally and turn it into who you are as a person, that can cause huge problems. Or a belief from your childhood, perhaps, from a trauma, an experience, or a time that you don't even necessarily remember, but from your subconscious mind, it keeps coming back up into your daily life. You can even have beliefs based on commercials that you saw over and over as a child when you were growing up. Commercials on TV, things that you watched over and over. And for whatever reason, you buy into them like they're truth. So your subconscious beliefs are stored in your brain as neuroplasticity. They become sort of a reflection of your reality, and by the same concept are actually helping you create that reality. So you got that picture there of your self-reflection, and you see that back at you in the mirror, and what you believe helps you create what you become. So whatever it is you're believing about yourself, that's what you're showing up with inside of your life. How do you walk out of yesterday and into something beneficial? Well, that's pretty tough if it's something in your subconscious mind and you don't even know what's bringing it forward or why it's acting out. So one of the things that we know helps is operating within total integrity. If you know there's an issue and you can feel something revving up in your system, standing against it always helps. You have to want to attract health. You have to be really decisive. You have to make these hard choices. You have to become willing to do whatever is necessary to heal your mind, your body, conquer the negative thoughts and illnesses, and get rid of the labels. Attracting health, and by health I mean in all different realms and all different aspects, means taking authority over your mindset. The mind, the brain controls the body. 100% responsibility. You have to take 100% responsibility over your thinking and making your mind as strong as you can. Because once you begin to do that, once you realize that's how this all basically works, and you can start playing that out in your life, everything starts to change. If it's something that's locked in your subconscious mind, if it's locked in there, we go in and unlock it, and then you start the process of moving forward in your life. Doesn't that sound awesome? Isn't that something you would want for yourself? I know it sure made a difference in my own life. I've witnessed amazing results with people using the strategy of Mind Rewire. Some of these results were quite profound. Fears of water instantly relieved, allergies gone, nerves settled, anxiety and addictions suddenly gone. Just like my client, this is an email he sent me not too long ago. It says, here's what I've been experiencing after our session. And this was the first session we did. He said, I haven't had any thoughts of feeling like I'm a piece of SHIT, not one since last Saturday, which was surprising because I haven't had to use willpower. That's wicked cool, right? So he got over that feeling that he had and didn't have to use willpower to do it. I also haven't woke up screaming or having any abusive nightmares. I'm less anxious, less negative mood, more clearer thinking, a higher degree of self-acceptance, and a clearer path towards fulfillment. I find myself smiling when I walk down the street. How cool is that? Isn't that something you would want? Another thing I noticed today was that I heard myself saying I'm grateful that my birth was untraditional, and the experience provided me with a means to test my fortitude. Where before he was very confused by it, he was very anxious about it, it caused physical issues. So the perception here is totally shifted about what that birth was to him. Clearing those two things have been helpful for sure. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't experience it. Isn't that awesome? And then he actually gave me a list of what he wants to work on next. So most of the balances that we do take between 5 and 10 minutes. There's a little bit of preloading working into it. I have to teach you how to muscle test and feel your body first. That can take about 10 to 20 minutes. But once we've got that done and got that loaded into your system, we're off and running. So we can get quite a bit done in a small period of time. Most results are not typical though, so here's my little disclaimer. I walk you through a specific protocol and ideas that have been more empowering and useful than anything I've ever seen before. But my results are not typical. My results of some of my clients are not typical. I put into practice a daily regime that allows great benefit. However, most people will not allow themselves to do this or follow it. Here's what's worked for me and my clients. I know this is how it works. I know why it works. I know exactly what to do, but this is not a magic pill. It's not a one and done, and it's not a wand full of fairy dust. So I just want you to know that there is work to be done. In the past 8 months, I've totally rewired my thinking. The cool part is the work that needs to be done isn't long drawn out months and months and years and years and years in a therapist's office. I want you to learn how to do this yourself so that you can take authority in your life, have 100% responsibility and control of what you're doing and when you're doing it. I haven't been to a doctor or taken a pill or worried about anything really, or let my thoughts take over a day since. And life keeps happening, stuff keeps going on, but I know how to take care of it in my mind, in my subconscious mind, and I just keep moving forward. It's such a powerful platform to help people understand their self-limiting beliefs, what they are, how they're acting out in their lives, and then how to dissolve them, how to use your physiology to engage the subconscious to help you find change. Everything you need is already tied into your physiology. All you need to do is know how to use it, which we were never taught that part. That's the part that I teach. That's what I want you to know how to do this. It's easy, it's quick, it's effective, absolutely amazing. So what is your goal? My desire is to help you achieve your goal through subconscious change. Once this can start moving out of your mind, it opens up a whole nother realm and world of things and possibilities that you can do. What if you could rewire your mind in just a few minutes? What if you could do that? What do you think? Rewiring your mind by using tools of subconscious change. Do you believe it's possible? This will even benefit your time in your doctor's office, or your therapist's office, or any other modality or protocol that you use, whether it's mantras, meditation, hypnosis. This will benefit you in all of those different realms. It allows you to move more quickly and more efficiently through the issues and get you onto your goals. Just like my client Awilda, she makes me laugh. I absolutely love this woman. She says that 1 hour with me is like 10 hours in a therapist's office. She gets clear and feels immediate differences. Her mind has been changed, her body changed, she lost some weight. And even though her life keeps happening around her, thanks to Mind Rewire and the tools that she has, keeps her working and moving forward. So one process of change, no one process of change has all of the answers. None of them do. All of the time for all people. It just doesn't work that way. But the strategy of Mind Rewire will help you secure powerful change and make all other processes and protocols that you're currently doing even more effective. When the subconscious mind and the chatter of your subconscious mind and the stuff locked into your neuroplasticity doesn't get in the way, meditation goes deeper, mantras sink in quicker, anything you're doing with your therapist rolls smoother, perceptions change faster, people start processes daily and don't make it far enough into the process to ever see real change. Have you done that before? Have you started a process and never quite made it through or never got the changes you were hoping for? For most, the starting of another process is the best change they ever see. And that's awful. That's an awful thing to have to keep jumping from thing to thing to thing and never getting any benefit or any change. I can't tell you how many people I talk to on a daily basis that call me or email me and say, I do affirmations, I'm a certified therapist or a certified psychologist of some sort. I've worked with Reiki masters, people that do law of attraction, hypnosis doctors, people that are actually certified in hypnosis. People who talk to me and tell me I follow, and then they'll give me a list of high-end guru names and teachers that they followed and people that they've worked with. The folks have walked on fire, right? They've done the walk on fire thing with Tony Robbins there. It's awesome and amazing. And they say in the moment I feel great and it was the coolest thing in the world. But then I walk away and I'm still struggling. I'm still stuck, right? What is the struggle? Where is that stuck at? Well, it's because the thing that they were doing only touched the surface. For whatever reason, it didn't get past the conscious mind and into the subconscious. It just stayed at the surface. We go straight underneath it all and try and undercut the whole thing and get under into the subconscious mind and tear that neuroplasticity apart, take it apart so that you don't have to keep fighting and struggling with it. So what they're doing doesn't usually get to the heart of the matter or affect subconscious mind. So a friend sent me this the other day and was telling me how crazy these kind of quotes make them, and I thought it was pretty funny actually, so I threw it on here. But you can go ahead and read through these, but there's quotes about telling you to think better, make better decisions, live happier, have better experiences. And he's like, how on earth are you supposed to do this if you've got crap stuck in your subconscious mind you don't even know about? How are you supposed to make anything like this work? He goes, years and years and years I was trying to think better. I was walking around repeating the mantras. I was walking around with a bigger vision and a bigger goal and trying to walk myself through it every day. But it never stuck, it never got me any further, and it just frustrated me to death. So when you have these kind of quotes and stuff posted around you, and how many of them have you posted? How many of them do you read daily, right? If you're on social media, They're all over the place. And you sit there reading them going, yeah, that sounds great. Why can't I ever do it? Well, my guess would be it's because of something stuck in the subconscious. It's something locked in your neuroplasticity from a past event, something that happened. And it might not have been like a traumatic thing. It might have just been some little tiny thing that as a 5-year-old you looked at, you took it on as personal truth, you took it on as personal value, when in reality it was just an event that was unfolding around you. So if that gets stuck in there, whether it was a super traumatic thing or not, and it's causing issues in your life, those are the kind of things we're talking about. How many programs and processes have you started? Think through that for a second. How much time, effort, and money have you spent to get the results that you have? And you're sitting here watching this video because you're still struggling. That's frustrating. So this is a little saying, speaking of sayings in quotes. I used to love this one. A goal without a plan is just a wish, right? And so I've changed that to a goal without a strategy is just a wish. And a goal with a plan and without a strategy is just a wish. You have to have a strategy to do these things. If it's just a plan that you look at and never do anything with, like you know the steps of the plan, but you never take the action to get there, a strategy puts the plan into action. And now your wish becomes that lifelong thing right in front of you unfolding into life. And that's where we want to get you to. Take it out of plan mode and put it into strategy mode, put it into action. Just like my client Dawn, who was using my techniques to release issues that she had from chemo coming out of a cancer deal, a lot of surgery, really messed her body up. She had been a weightlifter. She was a bodybuilder back in the day. She was amazing looking. She had shown me pictures. And the chemo really messed her up. She'd gained a ton of weight under stress, really messed her system up. And so when she came to me, all she wanted was to get her body back. She's like, give me some strength back, help me get my body back. I was working in a gym at the time as a personal trainer. So we started working together. We got her to where she could get off the floor. So we were trying to, do push-ups and just get up off the floor and move around. Got her to the point she could do 4 push-ups. They weren't pretty. She was struggling. It was hard, very sweaty, right? Very laborious, breathing hard kind of push-ups. And one day she came in and she was just so defeated. She's like, I just want my strength back. I just want my strength back. And I was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. I like, pull up your picture of your gal from your weightlifting days and let's give her a name. We're going to pull her up in your system and repopulate that person into your cells because you've forgotten she's in there, but she's still in there. So she pulls this picture up and we're looking at it and talking about it and did a couple muscle tests. We did a balance on her, pulled her up full front into her cells. Dawn's job moving forward was every time she worked out was to think about her fit lady. So we called her Miss Fit. So she was supposed to pull up Misfit every time she worked out. So we did all these balances. She came in 2 days later back into the gym and she looks at me and she's like, what did you do to me? I was like, oh no, what did I do? What are you talking about? And her husband was behind her kind of smiling, so I knew it wasn't too big of an issue. But she looks at me and she goes, you won't believe this. She goes, I was laying on the bed. He's on the floor doing his calisthenics. He was doing his push-ups. And she goes, I was watching him like I normally do. And I was like thinking, I should get down there and do this too. And she laid there a little bit longer. And then she rolled off onto the floor, got into her plank. And she goes, I did 10 push-ups like they were nothing. I was like, what? Are you serious? And she goes, yeah, you want to see? I was like, no, that's cool. Like, yeah, I want to see, right? So she goes, and then she goes, I did my 10 push-ups. And I was so blown away, I just kind of stopped. And she was hanging out in her plank. And she goes, and then I did 15 more. 25 push-ups she did 2 days after we did this balance. Repopulating the cells, reminding them what they can do, even though she had gone through cancer, chemo, and was still fighting back from the results of that. Her body still remembered and knew. Her mind was able to turn that back on and tell her that she was strong enough to do those. And guess what? She was. Amazing. Isn't that mind-boggling? Isn't that something you would want in your life? So can I ask you a question? I want to ask your permission to talk to you some more about this program that I've put together that I call Mind Rewire. It's the most powerful way to clear the roadblocks of your subconscious mind that I know of, and it's now at your fingertips. I've turned it into an 8-week course. It's easy, it's quick, and it's effective. Change the negative thoughts, the negative beliefs, and the negative memories that sabotage your life and hold you captive, and bring in the stuff that you want. We seed your mind with the stuff that you want. Mind Rewire concentrates on getting you results by resolving your self-limiting beliefs through subconscious change. And so the course actually looks like this. It starts out with a Great Beginnings module. There's 8 modules to it. The first one is Great Beginnings in a functional foundation area that teaches you how to breathe and about water and what all that does in your system. So part of my philosophy is that if you don't know how the system works, it's hard to use it. So I want to teach you how the system works and why it works the way it does. Then we go straight into muscle testing one-on-one, where you learn how to feel your body's processes, the rising and fall of the chemicals in your system, so that you can actually talk to your body and actually listen to it and hear what it's saying. I teach you about the brain. It's kind of a basic fundamental view, but the epigenetics, the genetics, how this all works together, and why we can utilize it and access it. We talk about writing strong, clear statements, and I teach you how to do that, and those turn into the gems, those turn into the seeds, or you could call them mantras that we use to seed your subconscious mind with. Then we learn the balance procedure itself. You will learn how to do this and be able to function within it anytime that you need it from that point moving forward. So whether you're clearing something from the past or something in the moment, or seeding something in the moment, it all works the same way. So once you know how to do it, you know how to do it. We're going to do a functional movement reset, and that's for the physical body. That has to do with rocking, and it's kind of a different way of moving and resetting the physical system. We're going to talk about seeding the mind, and I'm going to give you other ways and different practices you can use that for, and kind of a quantum leap into what could be next. We're going to form all this into a practice where you're going to take this and turn it into a practice that you will start incorporating into your daily life. There's bonuses that come with it. One of them's on water and oxygen, which is also part of the functional foundations area. There's a bonus waterfall clearing visualization that I like people to listen to whenever they get kind of stuck, to clear and ground the system. There's a bonus on toxic load in food, and the reason why this is in there is if you don't understand how toxic some of the food around you is, if you don't understand GMOs, you don't understand what this poison is doing inside of your system, it probably is part of what is locking you out of your brain. These chemicals and the toxic stuff that's in our water and in our food have a very, very huge effect on the system itself. And until we can start to get that out and detox and move that stuff out of our body, sometimes it can be hard to access the stuff in the brain. So that becomes super important too. But we work on all of it kind of at the same time. So it's all wrapped in there together. The total value of this is around $3,359 if I did my math right. I have sold the toxic load in food for quite a bit more than that, $999. It came with some other things that we worked on, detoxing for one. But altogether, when you look at all of this, wouldn't you say the value is there? You get everything all in one, and you learn how to do it. You become self-sufficient, you become more aware, and you'll be able to move forward doing this for the rest of your life. So let me tell you a little bit about what you need to win before you sit there thinking too much about the price. You need to change your mentality, and that's a weird thing to say to somebody, but changing your mentality changes your perception, especially if you're stuck in negative places. And you become aware of your thoughts and the actions that they cause, and when you become aware of those things, you start to become aware of things that you actually want in your life, and we can turn those into seeds. Understand that faith is driven by works. So as you get out and move and do the things that you do to seed this into the mind and process it, it becomes bigger and bigger, and that becomes your go-to. The final thing that you need is a planned process like Mind Rewire Strategy, the tools for subconscious change, and a coach. And that coach would be me. This is what I've been doing for the past 8 years on different levels, from nutrition to coaching exercise to subconscious change to life coaching. And different facets and realms all over the place. The benefit of a coach, let me tell you, has many aspects. Someone to facilitate the process, someone to hold you accountable and guide you through, someone to give you prompts when it gets confusing. A coach is someone who gives you a sense of security when it gets tough, and someone to kick you in the pants when you need it sometimes, right? And we all need that once in a while. The cool thing about coaching is that all the top people have them. Did you know that? Oprah Winfrey, the president, like think about all the big people in power. Think about all the big superstars. Think about all of the big like actors, the sports people. They all have coaches. And I guess my question would be, if they all have coaches, why do we think we can get out of this life unscathed without one, without somebody to guide us a little bit? I have my coaches. I have my go-to people that I turn around and ask questions of. Some of them are paid, some of them aren't paid. But I definitely have the coaches that are my go-to people. So the proof is in the outcome, just like my client Noelle. She says despite having gone through significant trauma in childhood and as an adult, she rarely sought professional help anymore. And after so many tries and never finding a good fit, she started to feel like it was useless. So her sister got her sessions with me, and she agreed because it was a gift and she trusted her sister. And after only 2 sessions, she could honestly say she felt like a major change had occurred. She also felt better equipped when triggered than she ever had before. And the reason she felt better equipped was because she had tools to move forward with. She knew what to do when instances arise, and it was easy and it was simple. She says, Christy is someone I instantly trusted and felt comfortable with, which I really appreciate that, which is, in her opinion, half of the battle in getting help from someone. So just this alone, having equipment to move forward with is a huge ordeal, and that's what Mind Rewire seeks to do for you. I'll be there to give you accountability and absolute support when you need it. We do 2 times a week coaching calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you get to a place where you're stuck and just not quite sure, you get on those coaching calls. I'll answer all your questions. I've been there. I understand it. I came through hardships. I still have hardships. I just know how to handle them differently. The pitfalls, the fear, and the joy of change. If you have never had joy in your life, that's a crazy thing to start feeling all of a sudden and wonder like, okay, what do I do with this? Because this is a new feeling for me, right? I've been there. I've been through all of these things. This is my client, Jessica. She sent me this text. We were chatting and she said, you're welcome for something. I don't remember what that was for, but then she said, you're more than a personal trainer and a healer to me. Thank you so much for helping me get through this and helping me see the progress I've made in such a short time. And I just said, you're amazing. Because what she's gone through and where she's come to is absolutely mind-boggling to me. And she says, because you're teaching me, I can be. And I don't know that I agree with that. She was amazing all the time. I think I might be reminding her, and I think actually her system is reminding her that it can do its work and it can function as we move along. But unlocking all the little traumas that she's been through and watching her just blossom into this beautiful person that she already is, like watching her realize it's there, is so cool and fun to watch. So you might be asking, why don't I just tell you how to do it if it's so quick and easy? Well, I can't possibly give you all the ins and outs, all the information that you'll need in a 40-minute webinar. There's no way. And it would actually be a disservice to me and to you if I did that, because you wouldn't be able to use it. You wouldn't be able to put it all together and put it together in a functioning way that you could use it throughout the rest of your life on a daily basis. Right? You would hear the information, you're like, okay, that's cool, that's how that works, and you'd probably never go out and actually do it. I want to work with you to seed it in so that when you feel it work, when you know how this works and you've got it in your system, it'll just keep perpetuating and getting bigger and bigger for you. And if I just give it to you in a 40-minute webinar, you'll miss a lot of the fundamental parts. And I really do think that's a disservice. So just like Brian from the UK, he said, Christy is a total healer, not just with subconscious change, but the beauty of her work with me was that she incorporated a thorough counseling with emphasis on energetic healing and clearing. She is so good with putting things in perspective about your life and also why things are happening in such a pattern. She actually explains things. Guys, that's the deal with Mind Rewire. I want you to know. I want you to be able to look at a situation, we'll trail it back where we need to, and no further than that. There's no point in bringing these things up so hard in your system that it leaves you in anxiety and turmoil. We just find it, we go in, touch the edge of it, and then pull it apart, let some of that neuroplasticity start coming apart and working its way out. And then you seed things in, and as that neuroplasticity keeps breaking apart from those old patterns, that's when you see the change and when you see the cool things happening without having to dive into the negative stuff again. And I want you to hear the explanations behind it so that you understand how it works, so then you can go out and do it all the time.